Hi guys, so this is a totally random video. I'm just wanting to open a couple boxes. I bought some things on Etsy that pertain to like my crochet kind of things. Right now I'm really, or have been into making Mochila Wayuu type bags. And the reason I say type bags is because it is a type of bag or mochila or backpack, whatever. Well, it's not really a backpack, but it can be. That are created by Wayuu people who live like through Colombia and into Venezuela, and obviously I'm not from that culture, so I don't know a lot about it. And actually, it's really, really interesting. I've watched so many videos, and I'm like just totally immersed in like what's going on and everything out there. And you know, maybe I can link some videos just so you guys can check it out and see what I'm talking about. But they have a certain way of crocheting these bags, and I've talked about it in the past. I think I have a couple videos. I had started one bag, and I realized like over the pandemic I never finished it. Like there's just a good little chunk left, and I need to finish it because it's really nice. But I started another one, and so a lot of times they use yarns that we don't really get here in the US. They're lightweight yarns, but they're lightweight in a different way. But anyway, if I can link some of that info or some of those yarns, I will. In the description box, those will be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission for your purchase items to those links. With these Etsy items, they are not affiliate related at all, and I'll tell you the name of the companies, but one of them is an actual mochila, and I don't encourage buying them from like sellers like that, because what happens is generally is they'll go and they'll buy them for super cheap from these artisans, these people. Excuse me. So you know, these people from very humble backgrounds and things, and it's just not the way I would do it. But the one I found on Etsy was like $35 on sale, which is very low. So even if these people did get them kind of low from whoever they, you know, commissioned them from, or went and bought them in Colombia from, or however they got them, that's not that much more than, you know, like $200 and some odd. And even like companies like, I want to say like J. Crew, like these other companies will have like 1 or 2 or 3 bags, and they're like, here it is, $275 or whatever, you know, $300. It's like, okay, I don't know where they procure them from, but that's, you know. And another thing with crochet is that it is not something that can be made by a machine, like where knit or fake knit can be just thrown out in a machine. Great. This is an actual person had to make these things, right? So it's just something to think about. So again, I don't encourage that, but it was such a good price, and then they didn't ask for that much to begin with anyway. So I was like, okay, that's a little closer to like, okay, I'm not going to get to Colombia anytime soon, maybe not in my life, and I still would like one of these bags, but I don't want people to be taking advantage of it either. So I don't know, but I'll show you that. I haven't opened it, so I'm super excited to see it, because I also want to see what it actually feels like. Like this one that I'm working on, I got these yarns at Hobby Lobby, and although it stands up and everything, it's getting really soft. And this is completely whack, you guys, like what I did down here. It shouldn't be that wobbly at all. It should be very flat, like my other mochilas I've made. Did make and finish one for Miranda, and then the one I've been working on is nice and flat. But again, it's hard to find these yarns, so I did find a company called estambres.com, which is interesting because estambres in Spanish means yarn, and they're here in San Diego, and they just go across the border to Tijuana or wherever, and they grab the yarns, I'm assuming, and then they sell it here for, you know, how much more, which is fine. My brother goes to Tijuana a lot, and I do not, because I just don't. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to endanger myself or anybody else in my family so I can go get yarn or even eat delicious food or whatever is right across the border, right? And I am Mexican. My mom, you know, my mom's Mexican. I'm half Mexican, half Puerto Rican, and we used to go all the time to Mexico when we were younger. And I think the last time I went, it was in my early 20s. And then it just started getting more dangerous. And it's just not something I'm interested. Like, I'm good, okay? If you go, great, that's awesome. I'm just not gonna do it, even though I speak the language and, you know, all that. I'm just not gonna. So yeah, so it's better to just order from these folks, and I think they wanted like $4 a skein of the kind that I'm thinking about. So that's great. On Amazon, they had the same brand, and they want $4 for half the amount, like 50 gram. And these guys are offering 100 grams. So I'm like, yeah, definitely doing that. And I love that they're out here. I was like, hey, if you have a store out here, I would love to go to the store and just grab them. But I ordered them online. Yeah. So anyway, so this mochila, I've been going, watching a video from a lady. I want to say it's called like Mari Crochet Colombiana something, or something like that. No, Creaciones Mari? I don't know. If you look at those things, if I find out, I'll put it in the description box. Now, her videos are very interesting because, you know, people watch my videos and then they'll ask, can you write it down, or can you go over the measurements again, or can you, you know, text, like, basically message back the measurements because they didn't quite get them. This woman does not write anything down, and that's typical of people, you know, in the Wayuu culture, or any culture. Honestly, even my sister-in-law, I know she was really great at crochet, and whenever she would do stuff, I'm like, oh, how'd you say? Oh, no, I saw it on someone's head, or she saw a hat or something, and I'm like, well, how do you figure out how to do it? She's like, oh, le sacas la muestra, like just looking at it, you know, you can kind of count, I guess. Didn't really tell me how to do that, but like, I don't understand it. I'm like, what? So that's kind of how in the culture it's passed down, these designs and other things. So obviously it's more contemporary. There's like a little meter, like a lifeline, like a heart monitor thing, and then the little hearts, and I thought this was a really cute design. Down here, again, it could be better, but the little hearts, and she only goes in her videos and she'll talk about what she's doing. And then she kind of skips ahead, and then also it's in Spanish. So like all these different things that, and the factors for me to do it right or not, like this should have had the same texture, but I started off kind of wrong, and I was like, you know what, I'll leave it flat, that's fine. So it'll have this texture, this bigger heart, and then one that doesn't have the texture and all that. So it's not easy to follow, but it is easy to follow, right? So if you're kind of a crocheter and you understand, you're like, I don't really need her to tell me every single thing, but I do want to talk about like the pattern and how that went. So it's going to build up, and now it's all pink, and then other than the hearts I'm working on, and then you start making the hearts smaller, of course, at the top to make them closed off, and then you start back again with like the pattern that looks like a little line. So I don't know, but this is Yarntopia Yarn Bee from Hobby Lobby that I had picked up. It's really nice. It's acrylic, and again, with Mochila Wayuu, they always say algodón. Algodón means cotton, so I was always looking for mercerized cotton, but generally, if you really watch the videos, they're using synthetic kind of materials like acrylic if they're really bright, and maybe they're using like wool, right, like from an actual lamb, right? So wool. So nothing really has to do with cotton. So I was like, okay, I'll switch it out. So I switched out to this stuff. It still sits up. It's pretty good. I don't see anything wrong with it. But again, that's from Hobby Lobby. I will continue working on this, watching the video, pausing, you know, doing my rounds. Can you imagine? Like in here, I have videos where I'll have like 3 or 4 measurements, and then this is, every round has something different, a different stitch, a different pattern thing, a different whatever. As you're building it up, when you're doing this whole round at the bottom, it's crazy, and it's all from word of mouth, right? I'm just listening to her. So, yeah, I'm getting there. This was only a few days, too, of work, so I think we'll be able to finish that bag pretty quickly and easily, and that's great. Okay. Oh, I did pick this up from Michael's. How cute is this? I had ordered it because I had some rewards that I wanted to use. The little unicorn to make amigurumi kind of unicorn. That was cute. Comes with everything. Miranda just wants to get into doing stuff like this. She doesn't know how to crochet it, so I'm like, girl, we're gonna baby steps. Let's do like a scarf, something flat, and then we'll go from there so she can understand the stitches and what they're like, right? So, okay, I have not opened this. I don't know, you know, this is from Etsy, and it's Wanan LLC. Interesting. So WANAAN. Like I said, I don't have anything to do with this company or the next one. Or like I recently posted a short that I got some flowers. I had no idea what, I was like sitting on my couch. I saw the FedEx truck out there. Didn't really care when they rang the bell. I just left it at that. And then I got a text message saying flowers delivered or something like that. I'm like, flowers? I better go check. So I went out there because, you know, obviously you don't want the flowers just sitting out there. And I opened it up, still had no idea why I would have flowers from like Maui, and it was from the solar people as a thank you. I was like, oh, that's really nice. I'm sure they weren't inexpensive to send, but I did make a short video, and I included like the card for the company because they were really pretty. I mean, maybe something you want to order for somebody, I don't know. So, Wanan, thank you for your purchase. So this is exactly why I'm saying you want to be careful of who you're purchasing from and all that kind of thing. But it says, by choosing Wanan, you enrich our local community while supporting my small business. Okay, so like the packaging is very lovely. Let's see if you have any questions. Oh, they're really sweet too, because this is the thing. When I ordered this bag, and I'll show it to you in a minute, it did say there were like 3 left or 6 left, and I didn't know if that meant of this one design or of that listing, right? So they had different options you can pick under the listing. And so I emailed them because basically I'm interested in the bag, but I also want to see what it looks like in real life, what it feels like in real life. So as I'm making my own, you know, I can maybe replicate that better. The strap that this bag had, I was like, I want to see that strap in real life. So I was like, if it doesn't have the same strap as in the picture, please just cancel my order and don't send it, because like that's all I was interested in really. Well, actually the purse is pretty, but I wanted that specific strap. So if you have any questions, and they emailed back, oh yes, no, it'll be the one in the picture, and you know, I'm like, okay, perfect. And they emailed or messaged back like within minutes, so that was good. If you have any questions, comments, there's a little QR code, and now let's open this up. It is packaged very nicely. Look how pretty. Oh my gosh. And I was curious because this they had a lot of different purses with this brown and white yarn, so obviously whoever's making it made like a collection, right, of the same kind of colors and things. And some of them were brighter yellow and different colors and all these different things. So this is very interesting to see. So let's check it out. Oh my gosh, you guys, so it has a very nice weight to it. Oh my gosh, look how pretty this strap is. Very interesting. The first thing I see, and you know, they left it on there, is like this, I don't know if it's an imperfection, but I made a strap like this. Mine is like half the size because I didn't know how to do it yet. And you're using these cords that you make. I don't know how to explain it. It's just long yarn things. Like I had to be in the back of my kitchen, like dining room, to the front door of my house, and I attached the yarns, and then you twirl them in a way that they get real tight. So you don't want to untwirl the yarn because each yarn has like however many fibers in it. You twirl it opposite, so it tightens it, and then you twirl them all together in the opposite direction, and then it makes like a cord. Yeah, you'll see here. That has different. Each one of these little like swirls you see is a different yarn that was tied together anyway. And if I open it up like this, like if I undo it, you can get things in there. So it's a type of weaving that's very specific, very special, and awesome. I love it. See right there? So you put the thing and then you pass these cords through each other, and that's how you get these designs. I know, well, hopefully it makes sense. Maybe I'll make a video, because again, I was really into it when I was making my first purse, and then I forgot everything, because it is a technique, it is a way of learning. There are different stitches. You know, it's single crochet, but some people do it so that you go over the first one, then under the second to finish your crochet, you know, the actual stitch. And I was doing it that way, but that's kind of like tapestry crochet, and now I watch more videos, I'm like, oh, these people are they're just crocheting like normal, you know? So I'm starting this bag that I just showed you was crocheting like normal. So the thing is, what you want is that the stitches stand on top of each other. So it's straight down, straight down, straight down for the most part, instead of it being like the V that you normally see like in crochet. So that's why I'm like, that's weird that some people do it one way, some people do another. And they say within the tribes, you know, there's different clans, and they might do it slightly different, right? So I say do whatever makes you feel comfortable, that gives you a nice taut stitch. But this is what I wanted to see, and I am so happy. I mean, this is so pretty. Again, there's little things here and there, and maybe I'll tuck that back in because, you know, I crochet myself. But I wanted to see what it looks like. That was my whole thing. Like right here at the end, there's a few I need to tuck away. That is really pretty. And then the back side looks similar, but it's a little bit more rough. I don't know if you can see on this side, it just looks smoother. That is so pretty. And it's supposed to have a really long strap. On this one, it is about 20 inches, so like a 40-inch, plus all these guys that are down here. So the leftover pieces, you just kind of tie them in a little knot, and you leave them here, and they look pretty. Another thing that you want to look for is this, how they ended off with tassels, or with like little balls, or like with nothing, or however it is. So this is a really pretty little set of tassels on this. This also, again, is made in the same way like this guy, I would say. It looks like it, but they use more strands, so it's thicker. And it just stays, you guys. I don't know how to explain it. Once you do it and you let it curl back on itself, it just stays that way. So that's how they use, that's their closure on this one. Let me try to get this over here. And then, of course, the pattern, right? Beautiful pattern, nice and bold. Pretty simple the way it's going across. This is the pattern I'm using on my other purse that I haven't finished yet. But I did mine thinner, so each pattern is like this, the bands. Little hair there, okay. And as I open it up, the base is nice and flat. You saw mine is like looking like I don't even know what, like some kind of pastry that puffs up. Really flat. And of course, I'm going to look at this very closely because I wanted to see like how many stitches they start with. And it's a swirl, okay? So it goes in a swirl. I don't know if you can see that. It just keeps going round and round. So they're not rounds. You continue working. But a spiral, should I say a spiral, is hard to work with because you have to remember, or you mark it where you stopped and started. basically where you started, and then you're increasing, and you have to increase in a way that's very organic. You might have a pattern, and depending on how you stitch, you know, and the crochet hook you're using, the yarn that you're using, it might not look right. Even though you're reading the pattern and you're following the pattern, it's not going to be the same, and you want it to lay flat. So they do this very organically. As they're going along, they're adding two, they're, you know, maybe stitching a few, maybe adding another two, so it, you know, adding one stitch, but doing two in one stitch, doing your increases, and again, it may not follow the pattern, because for yours it might not work. It might start looking like mine, right? So you have to do it in a way that's just works. And mine, it looked like it was working, and I was making my own adjustments, and then it came out kind of crazy, but it'll be okay. I'm going to put like a little puff ball at the bottom of mine. You're not going to notice it. But again, swirl, swirl, swirl. And then when you get here, you stop making the swirls, and now you start going up. It's still a swirled spiral design, but you're doing the same amount of stitches, so it starts forming the body of the bag instead of continuing to get bigger and bigger, right? So once you get to a certain amount you want, usually like 200 and something stitches, you start going up. And so I hope this video is interesting to you guys. I know for me it is, and I'm super happy to feel this. You know, it feels honestly like cotton, but I'm sure it's an acrylic blend just because of the colors that are in here. So it feels really nice. Again, it's not fuzzy, a little bit, you know, but not super fuzzy. That's kind of what I was looking for. I'm like, what kind of yarn am I actually looking for, you guys? Cute bag. If I lay it flat, it's about 13 inches wide here, so, you know, maybe 26 inches in diameter. I don't know if that goes one to the other. It says, you know, $44. I'm just kidding. I don't know what that is or something. And then you look inside the bag, it looks almost the same. Very cool. All right. Well, I'm happy to have that. Again, it should stand up on its own, and it is standing up on its own like a basket. I don't know how to explain that. And then you tighten it up, and it looks good. I mean, I'm happy with it. I think it's very pretty. This is interesting. Here's where the step up is. See, this is where the spiral ends, and then the new line starts. So it's always going to look a little bit crooked, like one's up a little bit. And what I was learning in other videos or other, you know, the last time I was doing stuff is go ahead and put your strap there, because it's on the side and it's less noticeable. And this one is right up in front. So, you know, I don't know, guys. Kind of an interesting choice, right? I would probably put that somewhere else, and I didn't notice it till now. So what's funny about that, though, to be honest, is I was gonna say maybe I can take this out, push it out, and then turn it around. Do you know what I'm saying? Put this on this side, and that'll be my front, and that'll be the back. I might do that. So a couple things to think about. Okay. This box is pretty big, because I was like, well, if this is the right stuff, I want to get it now, and, you know. So estambres.com, but I bought it through Etsy, but they do have their own website. And let's see what this looks like. And I asked for a bunch of random colors, you guys, and certain amounts of some and other amounts of others, so I hope they packaged it correctly. It looks pretty good. I'll have to compare it, obviously, to my order. Let me pull everything out. I'll be right back. Okay, I will say, I wasn't sure on their site because of the description. I'm like, oh, this is definitely what I was looking for, which was, oh God, what's the brand name? It's on my Amazon. Oh my gosh, I can't remember the brand name. There's a brand name that's really popular in Mexico. Anyway, but this did say Pantera, something about Pantera. Cristal is just like a type of, it has like the little shimmer possibly in it. Of the stuff. And so what was the brand name? Oh my gosh, I'm seeing like the label in my head. I'll think about it. But I wasn't sure if that's the brand, because this is a different brand than the Amazon. So maybe the other one's higher quality, maybe this is less, maybe it's the same. I don't know. Maybe they just repackaged it and put that on because it's kind of interesting. But this looks like it's that brand, Cristal Pantera Rosa. Cafe is the color of this one, and this one, again, 100 grams, made in Mexico, it says. And the other ones are obviously from, you know, Colombia and things like that. So even having this is not exactly the same as the other yarns, but it's a similar vein, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. You see this? You use it doubled up. So you're going to use it, it's very thin stuff, and it's double like this. Whenever I watch videos and people talk about it, because when you grow up in, you know, different places, different countries, you're just used to it. You're like, yeah, whatever. For me, I'm like, is this a single thread? Is it a double thread? Is it already double threaded for you? But no. So as you can see, as I'm pulling this, even though it has 2 threads, so to me, I'm like, am I just not finding the other one? let me see if I go back this way. Back. Nope, it's just the one thread. It just looks like it. You're gonna work with it doubled up. So it seems to me it is a single thread, and what you're gonna have to do is double it yourself. So I always see a lot of people are working off of a ball because they did that, all right? So you know I have the ball winder, so I'm not gonna worry about it too much. But what I would do is grab that one and grab this one, or the outside and the inside of one ball, and put them together basically, so that when you go to work with it, you know, you can start making a ball or use your yarn winder. But you want to work with 2 threads at once, and that's what I was looking for. That's all I was looking for. So this is brown, and I just got a bunch of colors. Chocolate OSC, which is different from like another chocolate. She has a ton of colors on her listing. It kind of drives me nuts that it looks like the 2 are together, and maybe I'm doing this wrong. You know, maybe I'm supposed to pull. Well, again, you can pull from the outside and from the inside at the same time. But these things start jumbling together as you're doing the purses. So for me, I rather just have it 2 together already and work from the one ball, then 1 and 1, or 1 from the inside, 1 from the outside, and then having to manage that plus manage the other colors. Yeah, it gets kind of wonky. So there's that. And then all these colors that I picked out. So La Pantera Rosa, it looks like that's what they use. 215 crepe polyester. I have no idea what that means. 72% acrylic, 28% polyester. And then again, whatever weight is on there. Out here it says 1.2 grams. I don't know. I don't really know what that means. But anyway, these are a nice size. So again, I just picked a bunch of colors, and you know I like pinks and purples and colors that help me make flowers. So I picked greens, and then I have a bunch of standard colors over here. So I love the way they package it. They're like, yep, these are your fun colors, and these are your basics. So very cool. I did grab some blues, little yellow, because you always want that pop of color. Made in Mexico, Tijuana. That's, I'm telling you. And then, you know, the different colors. So very cool. I mean, this looks good already. I'm going to have to do something to put these guys together in a way that makes it so you're working with 2 strands at once. And maybe I'll have to understand these better. But you saw as I'm pulling it, even though it looks like there's 2 and 2 and 2 in each one, it's really just the one. So, all right. Well, I'm happy to have those. And maybe that answers some questions if you had yourself. Again, they ship from San Diego. And I think even for me, the shipping was like $7 or something. But yeah. All right, guys. Hopefully I'll have another video for you guys today. It's been so busy. Just, you know, it's the holiday season and things, and just enjoying family and other things. So, all right, guys. Oh, like today, Miranda has 2 choir concerts. One at 2:15 at the school, and one at 4 o'clock at the school, because one's for the school itself, and the other one is for her choir class that she takes after school. So today I'll be there twice. I have to go, come back and go, you know, because it doesn't really make sense to hang around there until the 4 o'clock. So, yeah, things like that. A lot of band related concerts also. You know, it's that time of the year. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you're all doing great. Again, I'll put the information for the 2 companies that I picked things up from here, and I will see you all there. It popped in my head, Omega. Omega is the brand I wanted to get, and that is the brand that I did find on Amazon, so I will have that link in case you want like the OG, like the legitimate, what it is. I haven't heard of Pantera Rosa. It looks fine. It looks similar to me, so I'm sure that's fine. But yeah, okay. Thanks for watching. Bye now.